Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we are tackling something really interesting based on a source you sent us. It's a new announcement about the EON WealthWeaver Incubator program. Now, the language they use is pretty ambitious. They're saying this isn't just, another startup program. It's framed as a fundamentally new system designed to really accelerate entrepreneurial success globally. And the angle is combining AI with proven Silicon Valley methods. So consider this deep dive your kind of shortcut to understanding what might make this different.
That's right. And, if you've ever looked into the startup world, it's complex. It really is. Entrepreneurs often face this fragmented support system. Maybe they get funding help, but then struggle with the team. Or they get great advice, but can't figure out sales. It's just piecing it all together is tough, overwhelming sometimes. And the source really hits this hard. It argues that this fragmentation is a major barrier. So our mission here for this deep dive is to unpack how this program tries to offer a truly integrated solution, what really sets it apart.
Absolutely. So for you listening, the goal is that you walk away with a clear picture of this system. Its key parts, how they're supposed to work together, and the kind of impact they're aiming for globally. It's really about understanding the how and the why behind their claims. Okay, let's start unpacking this. So the core issue, like you said, is this fragmentation in how startups usually get support. You see incubators here, accelerators there, funding platforms, mentors. But they often don't really connect, do they?
Precisely. And the source makes a good point. Each of those pieces might be valuable on its own, but real accelerated success, that needs support across all the critical parts of building a business. And crucially, having that support integrated, available at the right moment. That lack of a connected, holistic approach is, well, it's a huge bottleneck for a lot of founders.
Right. And that's where EON WealthWeaver comes in with this big idea. It's not just one tool. It's what they're calling a 6-platform ecosystem.
Yeah.
Built on taking those, often exclusive Silicon Valley methods, adding AI and aiming for global reach.
Yeah, and the core pillars they talk about are key to grasping their approach. First, there's integrated excellence. That's the whole comprehensive ecosystem idea, covering all bases. Second, Silicon Valley methodology, using the actual processes, the frameworks that have, worked for those big growth companies. And third, global accessibility, making this top-tier support available to anyone, anywhere, breaking down those geographic walls.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. These 6 platforms, they say each tackles a critical success factor. Let's walk through them. Where does this ecosystem actually start?
Well, the source kicks off right at the beginning, identifying the right entrepreneurs. So the first platform is the WealthWeaver Wayfinder. They position this as an elite selection engine, using proprietary Silicon Valley-grade assessment algorithms. The insight here is it's not just about the business plan. It's trying to pinpoint that top 1% of candidates based on their vision, their ability to execute, and market timing, that specific mix.
Okay, so finding that entrepreneurial DNA, essentially. What happens once you're picked?
Then you move into structured learning and development. That's platform 2. The EON Entrepreneur Guide. This gives you a personalized curriculum. And the key thing, it blends methods from places like Stanford, Y Combinator, proven frameworks for building startups, but it layers on adaptive learning tech. So the education actually adjusts to you, to your progress and needs.
Personalized learning with elite frameworks. Got it. What comes after that?
Then you have the EON Vibe Coder. Now, this one's interesting. It does a couple of things. On one hand, it offers no-code application generation, helping founders build something functional quickly without needing to be, a coding expert right away. But crucially, and this is where that integration really shows up, it also tackles cultural alignment. Team dynamics. It has advanced matching systems for finding co-founders, building teams, specifically designed to address cultural fit, which, as the source points out, is apparently the #1 reason startups fail. It even includes tools for assessment and conflict resolution within the team.
So it's pairing the tech build with the people build in the same platform.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way to connect those. What about guidance, expertise?
That's platform 4, EON Brainy Mentors Plug and Play. This is their expert network, and it leans heavily on AI. The source mentions over 500 vetted industry AI experts. Now, just to clarify, these seem to be AI avatars that embody the knowledge of real human experts, with an AI matching system to connect you to the most relevant avatar for your specific problem right when you need it, offering flexible ways to engage. It's really an attempt to scale access to that high-level expertise.
Okay, AI expert avatars that you interact with. That's definitely a unique approach. So you've got the team, the guidance, but you need to make money, right?
Exactly. Which brings us to platform 5. the EON Marketplace for Sales. This one's all about revenue generation, customer acquisition, designed as an integrated hub. The real insight here is enabling immediate sales opportunities right within the EON ecosystem through built-in e-commerce, cross-promotion with other ventures in the program, strategic partnerships. So it's not just teaching you sales theory. It's giving you a potential sales channel basically from day one.
Wow, a built-in market. That could be a pretty significant advantage. And the final piece, getting funded.
That's the sixth platform, the EON crowdsource funding platform. This integrates crowdfunding right into the ecosystem. It connects entrepreneurs with a pre-qualified network of investors, offers multiple funding pathways, and it seems to handle the compliance side of things too, which can be really complex.
Okay, so stepping back. The source really pushes this idea that these 6 platforms aren't just separate tools. Each has its own specialized tech, its frameworks, but the big claim is how they work together.
Exactly. What they call compound value through platform synergy. That's the core concept here. The idea is that by tightly integrating these 6 pieces, the combined effect is way bigger than if an entrepreneur tried to patch these things together from different places.
Right. They describe it as a personalized journey. You're not just finishing one stage and then hunting for the next resource.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're seamlessly guided, supported through selection, learning, team building, mentorship, actually selling, and then funding.
Yeah.
And underpinning it all is this AI-powered optimization, machine learning constantly working in the background, optimizing matches, resource allocation based on how you're actually doing in real time.
Yes, and the program structure itself, a 24-week comprehensive program, is designed around that integration. You get support across all these areas at the same time. It relies on, well, sophisticated integration methods and these adaptive support systems to make that synergy real.
And a huge part of the pitch is that this isn't just for people in, say, Silicon Valley. They're really emphasizing global accessibility, taking this high-level methodology and making it available everywhere.
That's a critical difference. Think about traditional elite accelerators. You usually have to move there, right, to the Bay Area or London or wherever. This program wants to democratize that, make it accessible regardless of location. The source even mentions specific goals for diverse inclusion, aiming for 40% female, 30% underrepresented minority participation, which suggests a real intent to broaden who gets access to these powerful startup building methods.
So the insight is really about democratizing access.
Yeah.
Taking methods that historically created, billions in value, but were geographically locked, and making them globally available through tech. No need to relocate. That feels like a potentially massive shift.
And woven through it all is how they integrate assessment, development, and actually doing the work. It's not just theory. Assessment is contextual assessment. You're evaluated in realistic scenarios, tied directly to building your venture. Learning leads to immediate application. You apply what you learn directly to developing your own company right there in the system. Learn by doing. And it's this cycle of continuous optimization. The AI adjusts the support based on real-time data about your progress.
So it sounds like assessment, learning, team building, mentorship, sales, funding, they aren't just separate boxes you tick off. They're embedded within the actual process of building your business. And the system is proactively feeding you the right support when the AI thinks you need it most. Is that fair?
That seems to be the core idea, yes. Targeted support, just in time across all fronts.
Okay, now how does the source say this compares to more traditional ways of doing things? They offer some direct comparisons.
They do draw a pretty stark contrast. Take the selection process. They claim this elite 1% identification with their algorithms versus, often generic applications or maybe an open marketplace with little to no real selection in traditional models. Or the learning framework, personalized Stanford YC methods versus maybe standardized courses or sometimes no formal education component at all.
Right. And team optimization. Their focus on advanced cultural alignment versus maybe limited help or just focusing on the individual founder. And mentor quality. 500-plus vetted AI avatar experts with AI matching. That's definitely different from the often variable quality or inconsistent vetting you might find elsewhere, or just no mentorship.
Yeah, and the revenue generation part is highlighted too. Their integrated marketplace aiming for immediate sales versus traditional support often being pretty limited in actually helping you get those first customers within the program structure. And funding support, a pre-qualified investor network, integrated crowdfunding versus maybe just a demo day or leaving founders to run fragmented campaigns on their own.
So the main thread they keep pulling is the integration level. Their complete ecosystem working together versus fragmented single-platform approaches. And this, they claim, leads to much better outcomes, particularly on the success rate.
Yes, they're projecting significantly higher success rates, and they tie it directly to that integrated model. They're talking about a 75% plus business survival rate at 3 years, which, they compare to maybe 10-15% industry averages for traditional incubators, or funding success rates around 35-40% for standalone crowdfunding.
Those are seriously ambitious numbers.
Yeah.
Are there other specific metrics they're projecting?
Yeah, based on those Silicon Valley patterns, plus the boost they expect from integration, they list several targets. The selection, that tight 1% acceptance rate, focusing on who they deem truly high potential, survival rate, the 75% plus at 3 years, compared to that low 10% industry average. Revenue, they project 80% of their ventures hitting first revenue within just 90 days.
90 days, wow.
Yeah. Then funding, 60% securing external funding within 12 months. Growth, projecting an average of 300% year-over-year revenue growth.
Yeah.
And employment, creating an average of 5+ jobs per venture within 24 months.
Okay, these are definitely compelling figures. They're tying the program's design directly to these very specific, aggressive outcomes. It's not just about launching, it's about building something sustainable and growing fast.
And for anyone wondering how to actually access this, the source says it's through the EON reality platform ecosystem, so accessible via web, mobile, and even XR interfaces like VR and AR environments.
And applications are open globally, right? No geographic limits.
That's what it says. Merit-based selection looking for high-potential innovators, seemingly at various stages.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together. What's the takeaway from this deep dive? We've looked at the EON WealthWeaver program, this 6-platform integrated ecosystem, how it aims to fix that fragmentation problem in startup support, and its goal of making elite Silicon Valley methods accessible globally through AI.
I think the core idea is pretty clear. Take proven, top-tier entrepreneurial frameworks, integrate them really tightly using AI and tech across that whole business building lifecycle, and then make that whole system available everywhere to hopefully dramatically accelerate success beyond what the old fragmented methods could achieve.
Yeah, this kind of integrated, AI-driven, globally accessible approach.
Yeah.
It definitely makes you think differently about how entrepreneurial talent could be found and scaled up in the future.
Which leads to, well, an interesting question, doesn't it? If this kind of elite knowledge and support stuff that used to be locked away by geography and exclusivity becomes truly democratized through technology, what kinds of new, maybe unexpected breakthrough ventures might start popping up? Coming from corners of the world where these resources just weren't available before, what might that unlock globally?
That is a powerful thought to leave things on. And if you, the listener, want to dig even deeper into the details, the source material does mention a comprehensive white paper being available. Thanks for joining us in this deep dive.